Why don't we start right here at these gigantic sunflowers?
Yeah,
what happened?
So tall. Well, they're volunteer sunflowers. They just appeared. One morning they were here.
Nice.
And they're just growing. I mean, like, look at how tall this one is. They have grown so much since that rain.
Nice. All right, so walk us down. We're right here.
Yeah.
Our steps are right here, guys. Take us down the aisle,
Okay.
maybe the herb garden, and then
so
beyond.
a lot of this is actually self-seeded. We've got yarrow. I actually planted the yarrow the last couple of years. That's throughout this whole thing. I'm actually gonna rip a bunch of it out because it's very prolific. Lemon balm, I did not plant this. This was planted several years ago, and obviously it's grown nice. The calendula is self-seeded. The dill, and so the calendula, I like to use that for, I like to just pick off the head. I usually use scissors, and then I dry that, and then I'll soak that in oil, and then I make my own I make my own body lotion. Gideon, could you please get out of the garden? You're making me stressed out. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. So
hey, hold on, let's give Gideon a job. Hey Gideon, will you go down there and find 6 strawberries right there in Mom's strawberry patch right there, and come show them off? There we go.
Okay, so I dry these and then I put them in oil, and then I let the oil sit in a windowsill for 6 weeks, sometimes longer, and then I strain that out, and then I use that in my body butter that I make, and I just soak it in olive oil or just some oil, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put that right here. And then yarrow, I just dried a whole bunch of this, and I'm gonna pick a whole bunch more to dry, and that I want to make a tincture. Actually, Amy Fuel had an Instagram post recently on this, and it's in her book. I'm gonna get that out, and I'm gonna read up on how to make the best medicine for my family. Then dill, we've got that. This all self-seeded, and I like to ferment. I will pick off these heads, pick some cucumbers, grape leaves, dill heads, garlic, some red pepper flakes, salt water, brine, and I will ferment pickles and beans that way. Dilly beans and then dill pickles. More sunflowers, and I just grow sunflowers because I love them. I don't really... You can feed the seeds to the chickens, you could shell them all yourselves, you could save the seeds, whatever you want to do there. I just grow them because I like to cut them and have them in bouquets, and I think they're beautiful. I have sage growing. I'm gonna hopefully grow a bunch of sage and then dry it for culinary spices. Zinnias, I've got... This is a volunteer zinnia that popped up. Snapdragons, I did plant the snapdragons. I did plant the sage. This is Marigolds. It's lemon gem. It smells so good. It just makes me happy. Snapdragons, I just want to use those as in cut flowers.
Mr. Brown's got you some strawberries. You got 6.
Good job.
You want to eat one?
Sure.
See if it's good?
I don't know.
Morning snack.
Is it
Try
any
Mom.
good? I'll take
Kind of
this.
sour.
Is it?
Yeah, maybe they were picked a hair early. That's okay. All right, so you were
pretty good.
talking about the permaculture, bulletproof garden, herb garden, but right outside, what you got there? Right
I've got my sunflowers and zinnias, and I just like to be a nice greeting as you walk up to our gate. It's just a nice, beautiful thing. And then this is just lilies that I have
around the
it
mailbox.
looks like we have some poison ivy. Is that poison ivy? Or is that a maple? No, it looks like poison ivy. And this is poison
That might be poison.
Yeah.
So let's go back in. Tell us what's going on here around the chickens in
Okay,
case you
so-
forget.
Well, these are just zinnias, more cut flowers. I love cut flowers. I love to give flowers to people. I love to have flowers in my home all summer long. So a lot of the flowers that I grow, I just grow because they're beautiful and I want them. So this is lettuce. This is Justin's, he kind of was just showing about how you can grow in a container garden. These are cosmos, daisies, marigolds, more marigolds, sunflowers, marigolds, sunflowers, dahlias, straw flowers, marigolds.
And
So just a good variety of flowers.
it took no extra space.
No.
And I see you've grass clipped
Yeah,
that because
grass clippings and all of them to kind of help keep the moisture.
they dry out fast in containers.
They were drying out pretty fast. We were pretty dry overall. Like this is still pretty moist. This is new additions, of course. So this is clematis, I think is what they called it at the nursery, but I call it clematis. And then we have our first jalapeno.
That's our first jalapeno we've ever grown.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? I think it's ready. I don't know. I don't want to pick it too early. So we'll start at the first raised bed. These are muncher cucumbers. I believe they're called munchers. I don't know. They're like a smooth skin. So we'll be eating those fresh. We won't be pickling those. Then we've got a good variety of lettuce down here. Jericho, butter, crunch, and something else. I can't remember. Cinnamon red or something like that. I'm just gonna pick that.
That's great. And the idea is that the cucumbers are going to climb this trellis
So
and
I've
shade the
been
lettuce.
coming out here and picking off the bugs, and the cucumbers are starting to go up now, which is nice. They keep wanting to fall down. You keep having to put them back up. We've got more zinnias growing in here. I love to grow vegetables and flowers together. So this is my zucchini, which has died. I don't know what happened.
Is it your main one or the little one?
I don't know.
Because you had a little one.
This is
dying.
one that's alive still. So
And
this
then
is
the big
the
one
dead
took
one.
over.
I don't know what's going on here. You're seeing it here first, folks.
We're not hiding nothing.
I just came upon, but I do have a zucchini. That's exciting. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. That is a beautiful zucchini. How exciting. This is not my only zucchini plant though, so don't fret.
All right.
Yeah.
What's in the next one?
We have that. So this is cilantro, which is going to seed. I need to get starting cilantro in my greenhouse, maybe today. Then I have peas growing on this trellis with some cucumbers. I have my marigolds. I have a cucumber planted in here. This is the homemade variety of cucumbers. Not homemade. Is it homemade? I think it is homemade. The homemade, I think that's what it's called. And they are, I preferred them the best for pickling. So that's why I only grew, the only cucumbers that I grew this year are the homemade, besides these for eating. Then I've got parsley here. I've got my green onions. This is radicchio, which is like a salad. And then I have another one growing over here too. This is a vine with white flowers that I don't remember the name of that I bought at the nursery. So we'll see what happens when it finally blooms.
Yeah. Now wait, I just got to say it. And this is a white bucket. Glaringly calling for attention in the background. Let's get that one up too.
Okay.
We can't let these people see our buckets lying around.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Bless Lily's heart.
Blame Lily.
She's,
it was her.
So this is my pea trellis. I've got so many peas coming in. We're trying to let them get big if we would let them. I don't know. These might be too small still.
Did you guys keep eating them?
We do. I can't help it. So they're just delicious. But my goal is to have a pot of peas from our garden if we'll just let some grow. And then I don't like the shells. I know you can eat them, but I just give them to chickens.
What's up with the toboggan June 16th?
It's cold. I'm chilled today.
In Asheville, North Carolina.
I know, right? What is the
Not
deal?
really typical.
Well, the sun just came out, which is nice.
It's gonna warm you up.
You can see the dark looming clouds.
Right?
It's coming.
All right, time's ticking, babe.
This is, I gotta push my peas back there. This is crazy. I did not plant, like I planted like 6 seeds or something.
Well, that's all you got, isn't it? They're just prolific.
They're just prolific. But last year my peas did not do this well. So, and last year I started seeds in the greenhouse and then planted the plant. And this year I direct seeded and they did really well.
They liked it better.
So definitely direct seed. So these are my beans that I transplanted from, so this is the only one that came up. I planted like a bunch of beans in 2 rows here. This is the only one that came up that I direct seeded. And then I transplanted these from the crop garden that you ended up flame weeding. So they're looking good, and I am gonna get those other beans transplanted eventually. I've got more zinnias because you just can't have enough. I mean, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? And then look at this. And this one, and is this the same plant? No, surely it can't be. No, they're 2 different plants. I was gonna be like, how'd that work? So yeah, we just have a nice smattering of zinnias here. This is my other zucchini plant that is kicking and hopefully won't die like that other one. And it's just plugging along. I've just come out here and pick off any of the squash seeds. More lemon gem marigolds, but then I also planted some arugula in here. So we have arugula growing kind of interspersed with all of this. Cosmos and straw flowers. Look at how beautiful these are. Are they just not gorgeous?
Yeah.
Just more flowers to make your day brighter.
I just gotta say something. You just casually just threw that weed. You just casually kind of just munch as you go. I don't even know if you're doing that. If you know you're doing that. But that's amazing. I mean, you're feeding the chickens right there. You're feeding yourself.
That's the fun of having a garden, I think, you know? I'm like looking at those peas, I'm a little bit hungry. This is tomatillo. I always say it wrong. Tomatillo is how I normally say it.
Yeah, thank you. I think you got close.
And then my basil, more tomatoes. I don't know what, I did a variety of tomatoes, so I don't know what I have growing. It'll just produce whatever it does. This is like sugar something or other. These are like a cherry. And then I have another cherry right here. I need to come out and prune. I haven't pruned in a while, so I need to do that. And then I think this is a grape. This is the grape and this is the cherry, I'm pretty sure. And then more basil, which I'm gonna dry some. I've got cashews in the, just picking off those heads.
Yes.
Got cashews drying in the dehydrator. And then
we got a few suckers here.
Yeah, we do. I need to get going. I don't have too many suckers. Growing more basil. I just like really did it. And then more tomatoes. Oh, look at this. That's gonna be beautiful. I wonder if this is the homestead. I think these are gonna get really big, which is why they're so spread out.
Neat.
Maybe not. I don't know, because we got some down here. We'll see. We'll just see. I like planting. So what I like doing is planting the varieties that I like in the greenhouse. And then when they get out of the greenhouse, I just kind of like put them wherever, and then it's like a big surprise. And it's fun to garden, because then you're like, come out and you're like, I don't really remember what this plant is. Oh, this is what it is. That's awesome. And then of course more marigolds interplanted in to kind of help with pests. I don't know if they help with pests. I mean, they're supposed to, but I find that they just bring me joy. And they just smell so good. Oh, it's so good. I wish you guys could smell it. Lemon gem. These are lemon gem marigolds. Find some seeds, plant them, and you will just be happy, because they will make you happy.
The secret to happiness, folks.
Yes. Lemon gem marigolds.
That's all.
Okay, then Dahlias and I don't remember what this is. And this is a dahlia.
Winner right there.
It's a dahlia. It had a rough start. Okay. It's
okay. What are you gonna do with it?
Hoping it's gonna.
Please tell me you're gonna give up.
No, I'm gonna leave it there and see what happens. Stop it.
You can't pull it out and plant something else.
Clematis or clematis, I don't know what to say, but isn't this beautiful?
The internet will tell you, I'm sure.
I'm sure they will. Okay. Okay, so here's sunflowers, and then I planted a cucumber in here.
Oh, fun.
Because why not? Let it hang down. And then this is sunflower, and they're starting to bloom, and I love it.
It's fun to put sunflowers in container gardens on rails.
Why not? Right?
Is that gonna grow to be like 6 feet tall?
No, they're small sunflowers. So
okay.
This is so there's different heights of sunflowers, and I chose the smaller height. See, like this
We're gonna have to see that one. It's cute.
See, it actually has more blooms. It's not just gonna bloom once, so that's fun. That's that. So they're different varieties. That's the only variety of that kind, because I don't see any more on that one.
All right.
Here I've got in this pot lavender. More sunflowers. I planted a little sunflower forest. I want to say that these might be the teddy bear ones. I have no idea. Again, like I like plant it out. I keep them all organized in the greenhouse, and then once we get out planted, I just let it fly. So, and then we got zinnias, and then more marigold lemon gems. I've got my cucumbers here, growing on my trellis. And we're experimenting. We did tomatoes on a trellis over here. And then we did cucumbers on this side. So we're just gonna see what happens. And more cucumbers kind of coming around. Again, like I wanna be super successful with my fermenting this year. I wanna ferment a ton.
So what's the key to being super successful with ferments?
Just growing a lot, I think, and then you have a lot to choose from. Other people might have other ideas. That's just what I think.
Wow, you're really taking a strong stance there, Beck.
I know, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know, I guess. I just feel like that. I feel like that if I grow a lot, that will make me successful.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, and then hopefully I'll have a lot to choose from.
And you don't boohoo if your plant dies in one of your container gardens.
Right, right. And I think we probably have some to harvest here. I need to get out here and pick through what I do have.
How long does it take you to maintain every week?
Oh, not much time at all.
10 minutes?
Well,
you put down grass clippings.
I like to spend a lot of time in here.
Okay.
So if I didn't want to spend a lot of time in here, I could probably get away with like 30 minutes a week.
30 minutes a week. That's grass clippings, that's harvesting, that's picking out a few weeds like you're doing right there.
It's not a lot at all.
Okay.
So this is a summer variety of lettuce. Muir, Casey Honey Tree Farm is the one who told me about it. And it's delicious. It's not supposed to like get bitter. There's actually quite a few summer lettuces that are good for this. So I lost one there, so that's why it's empty. And then this is a romaine head, I believe. I'm not sure. Again, like I just planted. Over here, I've got my peppers. This is just a bunch of peppers. Orange King, and other ones. Orange King's the only one I can remember. California Wonder, I think.
Did you have a particular order?
Red, yellow, orange are what I did. This is a marigold, and it is doing quite well. We're finally going to get a flower. I have a feeling it's going to be beautiful when it comes out. I believe this is Aztec. Then this is lemon gem. And then this is my yellow squash. What is that? I don't even know.
Is this the one yellow squash I would let you plant?
This is the one yellow squash that I planted. I gave away all my other ones, all my other plants, though, because you know all of them came up.
You picking off bugs?
I am. I'm picking off.
And here we're
eggs.
growing another bucket.
Yep. Let's see.
You passed your strawberries.
I did.
You got a strawberry patch there. You got a. Is that a pawpaw? Forget. No, persimmon. Persimmon.
Then here we have our our bean TP for the kids. Basically, I've been doing everything for this. Maybe eventually they're gonna grasp onto the concept.
Maybe they'll hang in it. Maybe they'll hang in it when it gets up there.
I wanted to do this for them, and so here it is. Maybe they'll come and pick beans if I beg them to. I don't know. You know how it is with kids. Sometimes you can convince them. And
did they even help you put up the poles?
No. Maybe Lily did. Every once in a while I can convince them in to help me. But that is pretty much my raised beds out here.
Back around to the door.
Yeah, so this is my mint. I put it in this planter because mint is notorious for getting out of control. I wanted to keep it kind of in control. This was the easiest way. I mean, it's still kind of coming out, like it's coming out of the planter, but there's some right there. But it's more contained than it would be had I just planted it in here. This would have all been mint. These sunflowers are self-seeded. I've got calendula that I planted growing in there. I've got a volunteer tomato that I have saved. A hosta plant that I transplanted from my mom's place. That's a dahlia back there. I'm gonna try my hand at dahlias this year. I've got dahlias over here growing too. They like sun and shade. And we got a wrapper growing. This is really old because we haven't bought these in a really long time. But look, I've got a dahlia poking its head up, which is fun.
Heading down the hill towards the greenhouse.
So here, I planted around my greenhouse, like some hostas. This is a plantain, but it's just a weed. Stock, which is a really fragrant flower. It's really beautiful. I actually carried that in my wedding bouquet, so I'm like trying to grow it because I want to stick it in some bouquets up there. Hollyhock, which keeps on getting buried in the mulch because it wasn't a very large flower, but maybe it'll grow. And then hostas, and then more dahlias. I got some tulsi, basil, which is another flower that smells so good and just makes you happy. More stuff, lavender. I'm trying my hand at gladiolas this year. I kind of planted them next to the greenhouse so that maybe there's some support there. Straw flowers, cosmos, snapdragons, and zinnias round this out. And then, of course, we have our strawberry and asparagus garden.
And there's mucho más strawberries in there.
Yeah, there's a lot coming on, and we need to pick some too.
You got a little comfrey at the end.
Some comfrey in here too.
And right across from the greenhouse
is our elderberries.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hopefully harvest those berries this year.
Crop gardens. You want to start with a runes garden up in the front yard or in the back?
We'll start up.
What do we got here, Beck?
Here
Crop
we've
garden
got
number 1.
Kale, collards, Swiss chard, lettuce. The lettuce is bolting, the broccoli's bolting, the cauliflower's bolting.
There's broccoli under there.
I'm not happy with the variety that we grew. I have plans for next year.
It's probably safe, but we could pull this bug netting off of it and start feeding it to the chickens, huh?
Yeah.
Hey Rebecca, we've got to look at this cabbage and see if we're going to have some kissers.
Oh, we are definitely.
Oh, definitely going to have some kissers.
Look.
Oh yeah. We could certainly start eating some of this cabbage. She's got beets. Beets, a whole row of beets.
This is funny.
Yeah, it's gonna bust that net.
I know. Justin, here's this chicken.
Ooh, I get a mention, huh?
Instant chicken garden he has here.
It jammed. Say it.
It did. It jammed. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So here we have potatoes.
Why do you think this one row did better than this row?
I'm wondering if it's higher.
What's the difference?
If maybe they're...
Did you know there's some ready?
It's a different variety too.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that.
There's some sticking out.
Oh.
Here's one.
Well, we could dig
That's
them
just
up.
a new potato. Oh look, there's a bigger one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a row of red onions, Cabernet, is that it?
They're crushing it, Rebekah.
Something like that. And then we've got carrots that need to be weeded. Some more potatoes here. Not a whole lot.
Yeah. More onions.
Onions. So these 2 rows, the chickens got in and scratched. It's a little bit bitter for me.
Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving on over to the watermelon. That seems to be doing good.
A row of cucumbers.
They're doing good.
Doing good. And then the row of beans that failed miserably that I need to replant.
But the flame weeder crushed it.
It did.
That row was just covered in weeds.
Well, my dill's crushing it, except it looks like it fell over.
So it might be ready, huh?
Well, yeah, it is.
Right.
I need to pick some.
Do you see you have some tomatoes?
It's just hard. It's hard in the spring because my dehydrator needs to, there's a lot of things going on in it. Yes, I
Look,
see this.
you got one yellowing.
Well, this is sun gold, so it's going to be like an orange.
Oh, it's going to be yellow,
yeah.
orange. Okay.
Yeah, and
your tomatoes are...
dill and basil, and then I have a space that I have stuff to plant in. I just haven't gotten around to it. And then peppers and more tomatoes at that end. And then this whole row is tomatoes, which we've got a lot on. I need to come back out, prune more. I need to get...
Time up, maybe?
Yeah, I need to get some of these off of the ground.
Yeah. Do a little weeding at the base.
Do some weeding. And...
It's been super easy with this weed cough.
Yes, it has been. I've got some tomatoes coming up. I need to do more pruning. Over here we've got 3 rows of sweet potatoes. Here, we'll go back to it.
Here, you can see them better right here. This garden's due for a weeding.
It is.
But here are the sweet potatoes for Papaw. Papaw, even though he had a broken back in October, said he was going to plant some sweet potatoes if he got better. Well, he never got better, so we're doing it for him.
Yep. We've got cucumbers on this end, beans on that end, growing nicely. Those were beans that I got from Lorraine from Sow the Land. Because mine beans failed. My bean seeds failed. Then we've got just a whole variety of squash. Pumpkins mainly. So
we could probably see them down there if we want to go down there.
Well, yeah. But they're all interspersed into here too. Connecticut field pumpkin, Casper, which is a white pumpkin, the little pumpkins, the pumpkin pie pumpkins, spaghetti squash, butternut squash, what's that other one? Acorn squash.
What's that?
I think that's the Connecticut field
It's
pumpkin.
doing good.
Yeah.
And pretty soon they'll take over, so we only have to weed a few more times.
There was also another pumpkin that I did called Wildwood Pumpkin. So yeah, I have a bunch of different ones. I need to give some love and attention to this. In the two back, I did 2 big pumpkins. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations on your garden success.
Thank you.
And failures.
Yeah.
We always learn. I mean, with this amount of plants,
you're never gonna have.
How are you not gonna fail?
Yeah.
You're never gonna have a perfect garden. You don't have like a crazy detailed plan.
No.
You just start some seeds, estimate what you think you're gonna need, plant a little more than that, and then just go.
Yep.
All right, good job.